So if you want to overcome chronic or any sort of overwhelm, cultivate self-compassion and find permission to do less, then today you're in luck. Um, so in this fun chat that I had with my dear friend and simplicity expert, Courtney Carver, we talk about her new book, Gentle, which is a manual for resting more, stressing less, and living the life you actually want. Yay. So welcome to Joyful Eating, Courtney. So good to have you back. You're the second return visitor I've ever had on the podcast.
Wow, what an honor. Thank you.
So last time we spoke about clothes and wardrobe, but this week excited to delve into your new book, Gentle. So let's start by share. Can you just share the story behind how you came to write Gentle?
Sure. Well, I had written a couple of books prior, and I've been sharing my life on the internet since 2010. So I have shared a lot of words already, and I was really wanting to write a new book, and I wasn't really sure the direction I would go in. And here's what happened. So I say it came to me overnight, but then when I think about it, it really was not just overnight, but it did hit me overnight that the title of the book would be Gentle. And I had a good idea what I was going to write about. Like I woke up at 3 in the morning, which wasn't gentle at all, and I had this idea. And the next day I sent the idea to my agent and she really liked it. And so I knew I would put together a proposal and hopefully write the book. And I kind of convinced myself that it came out of nowhere as well. But then, just out of curiosity, I did a search on my website for the word gentle, and it comes up just 1,000 times. I mean, it's everywhere. It's something that has been such an important part of my journey back to health and connection with myself. And it's always like one of the most important parts of my work because I want these things that have helped me so much to be accessible to people and not like I don't think you should have to push through and fight to get good information and take care of yourself.
Yeah, great. And so it was like it was kind of like the gentle your gentle approach had been with you, but you hadn't realized that that's what it was until you had the idea for the book and then looking back, you connected the dots.
Right. It was sort of cooking all along, and then all of a sudden the timer went off and I had to take the brownies out of the oven.
Yeah,
Like
and
we
you're like,
were,
oh, we made brownies, amazing.
yes.
I,
So it was
well, I
really
love,
like 15 years in the making.
I love a good brownie metaphor. Excellent. Yeah, so maybe like so on your journey, Courtney, maybe just do you want to share a bit about your story about like how you like what that looked like for you as you were going through that change?
Sure. So way back, like almost 20 years ago, wait, longer, 2006. That's almost 20 years, right? I always think things are 10 years ago. So
Yeah, yeah, I
almost
know,
20 years ago,
I know.
I was working a pretty high pressure job and my life was very full of adult responsibility. And I was really stressed out and overwhelmed, just like everyone around me, trying to do all the things, overcommitting, overscheduled all the time, and really felt like crap a lot, very exhausted and got sick quite a bit. And in 2006, I got really sick and was eventually diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And for me, it was like this giant wake up call and permission slip to consider how I was going to take care of myself moving forward. And I knew that things were going to have to change pretty dramatically. So I did a lot of research about people living well with MS and what the big factors were. And one of the biggest was low stress, because stress can, like good stress or bad stress, can exacerbate a condition like MS or other health conditions. And I knew I had to reduce the stress in my life. And I had built my life into this, well, sometimes very joyful life, also a very stressful life, lots of debt, working too much. And again, just thinking I always had to get to this next level, like climb this next ladder, jump through this bigger hoop. and get there wherever there is supposed
And
to
there was
be.
then you were gonna be happy and peaceful and you'll be able to relax.
Right. Like if I go through all this stress and pressure, eventually I'll get there where I worked so hard that I've arrived. And now I'm a proper adult, a better grown up. I don't know what I was looking for really. But that really set me on a different path to major stress reduction and health and wellness. And so I have an amazing neurological team that I work with. I take traditional MS treatment and I simplified my life so much that I eliminated a lot of stress. I also came to realize that I don't control the world and I
Courtney, oh
can't,
no.
I know, I can't believe it. And so I couldn't reduce all stress and I can't prevent all future stress, but by keeping things very low level, a surprise or an emergency is not going to completely upend my life or my health.
Right, so you're building capacity to
That's
navigate
right.
the stuff that comes up, the life
Yes, and
stuff,
I had
yeah.
no extra capacity before this, no margin. In fact, I mean, just looking at my calendar, it would be like literally back to back appointments all day long. And so no wonder I was always late for everything because I didn't even give myself time to drive to the next appointment. Like it was just like everything was squished because then I could get more in a day. Um, and I don't do that anymore at all. Like usually I don't even put 2 appointments on the same day.
Right, 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 and so you just, like so the focus was, "How do I reduce stress for my
How do I
health?"
reduce stress? And I was not even trying to simplify my life, which really my work has really been based on that because when I saw what I was doing for each stressful thing, whether it be my my debt or my work or something in a relationship, it all came down to simplicity. Like it was just this constant process of removing things that were removing me from my life. It didn't happen overnight by any means. I mean, it took me years to simplify to a place where I could downsize, where I could leave my work, where I could make these bigger sweeping changes. It was really like just hundreds of tiny steps and patience and letting things go at their own pace. Where before I was always like, all right, where's the 30-day secret to my success? And how can I suffer through that only to then be completely exhausted at the end of it and have to start all over again? This time I was like, everything will take as long as it takes. And I'm going to just only do this one thing until it feels a little bit like the new normal for me. And then I'll move on to the next thing.
And so was that a conscious decision to change the way you were, like, approaching the change in your life?
Yeah, I had to change the way I changed because I always changed fast and furiously. I mean, I didn't have time, I thought, for the slow change, for slow progress. Uh, and so it was always like a strong New Year's resolution or a spring cleaning thing or whatever it
Frenzy.
was. And it always came back. I always like reset to the way I was before. None of those things worked for me. I had to take it slowly. And I still do that. Like I'm still working on things that I was working on, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Yeah, great, great. But it was like switching from fast and furious to doing it small and one thing at a time that enabled the change to be sustainable for you.
Right. And it was almost a necessity because I was quite
Well,
sick.
yeah, you had that extra impetus of your health. Hey, like, yeah. Yeah,
Right.
which is that's fascinating actually that you chose to go the slow path when you did have that big looming pressure of your health on the like so was that just an intuitive thing that you realized or like
I
how did that
wish. No.
yeah.
I am a slow learner, I've discovered. And so you
Right.
really have to present me with an idea multiple times before I get it. And it wasn't until my neurologist said about my current pace and kind of way of living that I was standing on the edge of a cliff and I had to make a decision. Like, if I was going to continue to run myself the way I was going to go over the cliff. And what he meant by that was like disease activity and decline, my health decline. And I decided I wasn't going to go over the cliff that day, that I would back up a few steps and see what it would take to go in the other direction.
Right. Just walk down this little path, safe path over here on
I'm
the
going to
other
take the gentle path.
the gentle path. There we go. Yeah.
Yes. And it worked, I mean, right away in the sense that it wasn't making me feel worse. And I felt like I was being proactive, even though it was a slow and steady pace. There was more joy in it and also more room to learn what I had to learn instead of just like flying through it to get to the end result. And that's what I think really made these changes stick for me is I was learning as I was going because I wasn't pressured to finish. I didn't have a deadline.
Yeah, right, right, right. So there was, yeah, okay, and that helped you appreciate because you weren't rushing to the finish line. It helped you to appreciate. Oh, yeah, actually, this feels good in the moment, and you were in like enjoying the journey. So therefore, you wanted to keep going on the journey rather than like moving on to the next thing.
Yeah, and that was really annoying for me in the beginning because all those times when people were like, "Oh, don't worry about the destination, enjoy the journey." I was like, "I don't have time for that.
Screw
Let's
you.
go."
Yeah, yeah,
They were right.
they were right, damn them. Those wise people. Yeah, so funny, hey.
It's
Yeah, and
so
so how did you
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, like, how did you like? Because you would have your brain would have been wanting to tell you, like, "This is really serious. We could like, there's a cliff over that there. Like, should we be running down this gentle path or going faster down this gentle path?" Like, how did you, like, hold the horses on your on that?
Well, I think because I was starting to feel better, that I could
Ah,
like
right.
see that. And of course, I had a lot of fear in the beginning. MS is pretty unpredictable. People have a wide range of symptoms. And in the early days, I would be worried, like, would I wake up without my vision, or would
Whoa.
I not be able to walk, or maybe I can't help Bailey, my daughter, with her homework because I don't have the cognitive strength.
Processing power. Mm.
And I just didn't know what would happen, but I was getting progressively better, feeling better. I mean, looking back now, like I've had since that diagnosis only one relapse within that first year and then nothing since. And my brain is scanned pretty regularly and I've had no new lesions, no increased activity, disease activity at all. And so I didn't know that would happen then, of course. Like I
Mm.
hadn't, and I still don't know what'll happen in the future. I mean, none of us do. So I can only decide like how I treat myself today and how I feel as a result of that. And there, of course, are still days where I go a little too hard and it's a quick reminder like, did what was the point of that? Or like, what was the point of stressing so much about this thing that now is not a thing, but now you don't feel well or you didn't sleep well? Or so I think we're all trying to balance that kind of our reactions to things and how to stay, not perfectly in control all the time, but just really thoughtful about what we're doing to ourselves. Like, why punish ourselves for no reason?
Yeah, great, great. So, I guess if we delve into the book a little bit more, so do you want to just share like the phases in the book that you talk about and
Sure.
yeah.
So there's 3 seasons of gentle, which aren't don't have to go with the seasons like fall, winter. They can go anytime that works for you. But the seasons are rest, less, and rise. And these are actually seasons that I've navigated in that order to help me with a variety of situations. And so rest is first, which I know is the thing we always want to put last. I almost put it last in the book. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, we don't need to save rest. So we think we can only rest or we should rest when we're tired, when we're sick, when we're have anxiety, whatever. But really, we can rest first. We can rest even when we feel good, and we should. Our bodies and our nervous system really need it. And that whole section is just about not only why rest is so important, but different ways to rest because it doesn't just mean going to bed, although that's definitely my preferred place to rest. I talked to a friend who her version of rest is connecting with friends and being with a group of people. And for me, that's very
That's
depleting.
the
I don't
opposite
want
of
that.
rest. Same. Yeah.
So you have to figure out what really works for you. And then the next section is less. And I really think that we put so much on our plates and then we say that we're unorganized or we don't have our shit together or we blame ourselves for not being able to keep up with it, but it's too much. It's too much. So less is less stuff in your house, less stuff on your to-do list, less stuff on your calendar, less random worries running through your brain, all of it. We just have too much to carry, and that impacts our health, our mental health, our physical health, our relationships, our work. I think you and I have talked over the years how much better we feel in our lives when we have less to deal with.
Oh my goodness, so much. Yeah.
And then uh, rise, the third section, I thought was so important because sometimes when you think about slowing down and being gentle, you think, I'm not going to achieve my goals. I'm not going to be able to take care of things I care about. I'm not going to be able to accomplish the things I want. When really it's the opposite. You can achieve your goals and accomplish what you want in a much easier way by feeling good and dealing with less.
Yeah. And being more specific on what it is that you do want to accomplish, like rather than having this like vague feeling of like, I want to accomplish all these things, like actually being more strategic with it.
Yeah, really redefining what enough means to you and what getting there means to you. Because for me, it was just this like, I was just never good enough because I hadn't gotten there yet.
Isn't
And
that funny?
then,
Like and that's the thoughts that we think, isn't it? Like I've thought that too. Yeah.
right. And as I started to work with people who were simplifying their lives, I talked to a lot of women who had retired from really prestigious positions. And they were like, what should I do now? Like people are asking me what's next. And in my head, I was like, well, wait, aren't you there? Haven't you
Yeah.
gotten? No, they're not. We're not there yet.
Right. And
So
even they're not yet there yet. Right.
there's it's not going to be this magical place that when you retire or when you have your dream job or whatever that you're going to feel like, oh, now I'm content. I'm complete. Our brains don't work like that.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. Yeah. Is it so do you think like that's it's like there is feeling content for most people?
Yes. And I think you
Yeah.
can get the feeling without the action or the hard work or the pushing through.
Yeah. And that's so funny because I don't know if I told you this year I decided so each year I have a rather than have a resolution, I have a theme for the year, Courtney. And so my theme for like my word for this year is content. And I've been feeling like, and your book, like reading your book, has helped me like it's what we're in March. Like I really feel like yes, I'm really nailing my year of content. Like it's helping me so much to feel, yeah, just feel that sense of yeah, I have what I want, like life is good and appreciating the good things, not freaking out about the stuff that I can't control. And I just feel that sense of content. So I'm there. Amazing.
You made it.
I made
Congratulations. Pro tip, don't watch any
it.
reels because then you'll find out you're not there and you need 50 new things to get there. So
Well, that's so funny because I've been taking a break from social media, so I haven't been watching anything.
that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So if someone's like just listening to this and just feeling like, okay, this is me. I'm not there yet. Like, how do I get there? Like, what would you say to someone who's like, okay, I don't want to wait till I get a serious health diagnosis to change? Like, because I think that can be really overwhelming when you're like, okay, I do want to do things differently. I do want to simplify. Where do I start?
Yeah. Yeah, health diagnosis or not, I think we're all dealing with some kind of overwhelm or
Mm.
excessive chronic stress in this world. And I think that the first thing we have to do before actually simplifying is definitely resting and taking care of ourselves. So, really putting rest first, I think, is so important. And then also giving yourself what you need on a day to day basis in the smallest possible form instead of waiting until you think you deserve it or have earned it. So, if you're working and you need a glass of water, why are you waiting until you finish your hour or you finish that document? Go get a drink. Like your body is thirsty. If your legs are cramping up because you've been sitting too long, take a walk. You don't have to wait until it's 2 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And at first, even this, like they sound like really tiny steps to me, but I know if you're sitting in an office and you're working and you have to accomplish a certain amount during the day, that feels like a big step to do, but it makes all the difference. And just giving yourself what you need without earning it or deserving it, because you both have earned it and deserve it. There's no question about it. That's inherent. Like, you don't have to do anything else to earn it or deserve it. So, eat, drink water, take a walk, lay down, unplug your phone, like all those little things that we know we need every single day. Just do it. Give it to yourself.
Start. So it's really making a decision to start noticing when you need something and then giving yourself permission to meet that need.
Right. You have prioritizing yourself and trusting what you hear, because your body will tell you and your mind will tell you. You'll hear these like calls. I call them heart callings that will
Yeah, yeah, I
say
love that.
like, I've got to stretch, or oh my gosh, I'm so sore, or I'm exhausted, or whatever. Like, you think all of those things and they are true, and you can trust yourself to respond to them.
Yes, yeah, that's it, isn't it? And actually, that reminds me. So, like, because one of the questions I I had for you when I first read the book was like, how do I know if I'm getting enough rest? And like that was the answer, wasn't it? It was just like just trust yourself. Like you will know when you feel.
Yeah, check in. And if you don't have time to check in, that's also like a clear message of this is too much. And I understand from personal experience that there are moments in life that are going to be too much, where you have this extra thing going on, or you don't feel well, or your kids are homesick, or whatever it is. And we have to navigate those. But if we were to make the other times, the majority of the time, simpler and softer and gentler, then those more difficult times wouldn't feel like the end of the world.
Yeah, yeah, because it gives you like margin, like having margin, and gives
A
you
little buffer,
capacity.
yeah.
The buffer. Yeah, yeah, I love
And
that,
you'll take
Courtney.
care of yourself even more through those times. Like, I've seen so many people like just sacrifice their well-being during those hard times, whether it's taking care of someone they love or going through like a job transition, like just, and then in your mind, you think, as soon as this is over, then
I'll
I'll
look
take care
after
of
me.
myself.
Yeah,
But you have to do it the whole time. You have to find space to be gentle the whole time, because you have, I think, like leftover deficits from not.
yeah, and actually, when we do are able to meet our own needs, and even when we've got other stuff going on, it helps us have that capacity to deal with the stuff. Whereas if we're completely depleted and we're like dehydrated and we're cramped up, yeah. it's like makes it so much harder to navigate stressful times. Hey.
Yeah, and I think too it reminds you to trust yourself because you are taking care of yourself. So you can trust that you'll do that for you.
Yeah. And also that you're not going to turn into a slob. Like it's like I guess that's like that can be a fear. It's like, oh, if I just like let go, like if I start letting myself rest, I'm gonna just I'll never do anything and achieve anything. But it's the opposite, isn't it? It's like when you feel rested, you you want to then like pursue your goals from a
Yeah, I
gentle
think that
place.
comes up a lot actually, where people think they either feel really guilty for resting or doing nothing because everyone's so like programmed to be productive all the time. I mean, we have planners for that and we have classes and courses for that. We can teach you to be so productive. But for what? Like that's the question I think to ask is like, what's if I don't if instead of resting for 10 minutes, I'm going to be really productive. Why am I like to what end is this productivity going to serve me or my family? Where if I were to rest for 10 minutes and just kick back and lay down on
See
the
what happens.
couch, yeah, for 10 minutes, that's not a lot of time, but it can be uncomfortable. And I think that's the difference. I think we mistake that discomfort for guilt. Just let it be uncomfortable. It's okay. You'll then be able to have something to figure out, to like see, like, is this beneficial? Instead of just navigating from a place of fear, you can, if you rested 10 minutes a day, every day of the week for 1 week, you would have a little bit of information to say, this helped me, or this hurt me, or this had no bearing. I should do it for
Impact,
another
yeah.
week.
Yeah, right. Right. So it's just treating it as an experiment. So if the fear's coming up, just doing little experiments with yourself and
Yeah.
seeing how it feels, and you can keep going with the things that feel good. And like I think it's like it does come down to self-trust, doesn't it? It's like that you can find the path that works for you. And everyone's path
Right.
is probably different.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think understanding that this work that you're doing, none of it has to be permanent. And I think that's another definition of a tiny step is if you can easily reverse it, it's a tiny step. So don't be afraid to try something that you think might benefit you. If it doesn't, you can change course.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. So I want to ask you, Courtney, so what does your like rest, like how does rest show up in your life? Like what do you do to take care of, to make like to for your rest?
Yeah, well, for starters, I prioritize my sleep. And the moment it's not right, I can almost directly correlate it to something else, usually a stressful experience. And then I come back to the basics, like what helps me sleep and how can I ensure those really like solid 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. And then I also meditate through transcendental meditation, which is 2 20-minute sessions a day. And we kind of talked about this before. I was a little off. Like, I've never missed a day with one meditation a day since I started in 2019. But over the last few months, certainly with the new book coming out, I found myself a little with a fuller schedule and I was skipping that second session. And I didn't think it would make that big of a difference, and I recently brought it back, so I've been back to it, I don't know, probably 10 days, 14 days. Wow, just such a big difference. So that's very restful and restorative for me to take 20 minutes twice a day to meditate. And then I have pretty good steady energy through all the work that I've done now. But if a day comes where I don't or I don't feel well, I don't hesitate to just cancel things and take care of myself. You're rarely going to catch me pushing through for anything.
Right, right. So you'll adjust your
Yeah,
schedule. So if you're not feeling up to it, you'll just go, okay, no, we're not going to do those things today and reschedule them. Or yeah.
right.
Right. Okay, that's next level for me, Courtney. I if I'm not feeling it, I would be like I would still be pushing through my schedule. So Yeah, great, great. Okay, I'm good. This is good. I'm learning.
I mean, maybe if if someone's life depended on the work I was doing, it would be different. Like if I was
Yeah,
a
if you're a
neurosurgeon.
surgeon. Yeah, but then do you really want your neurosurgeon to be pushing through? Maybe
No,
not.
but they have to. I think
Absolutely not.
about like surgeons and pilots, they're operating tired sometimes. No, I definitely don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah, please
Do
rest.
less.
Neurosurgeons of the world. Yeah, they have some margin built in. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that idea though of adjusting your schedule. Like that just because you've scheduled something doesn't mean that it's actually for the greater good to continue with that if you're not feeling well. Like that's I hadn't that had thought hadn't even occurred to me. Isn't that funny?
Like you could have
Yeah.
canceled our appointment today and I would have still loved you just as much. And then we would have done it another
But another
time.
time, and it would have been no big deal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I was feeling great.
Yeah, good. Me
I
too.
had a good sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Great. So it's so for you, it's like the sleep time is key and the meditation time is key.
It's
And
crucial. I mean, I'll notice a difference if I have a bad night of sleep. Like I feel bad the next day. I don't operate as normal and I'm a little grumpy and my hunger is off, my moods are off, everything's a little off. And so I think what it comes down to from at least from what I've learned from the people I work with sleep, because people are often asked, like, how can I sleep better? And we all know all the sleep tips, cool room, dark space, whatever you need. But the missing ingredient that we don't talk about enough is putting yourself to bed on time. Like people stay up in the name of doing one more thing. They really want to get something else done before they go to sleep. And then they're up at 11 or 12. And some people will say that's because they're night owls. And I think that does apply to a small percentage of people. And I think insomnia probably applies to an even smaller number of people. But if anyone out there is like anyone I've ever worked with, it's that you won't go to bed on time. And so um, I love this quote from actually a productivity expert, Laura Vanderkam. She says, going to bed early is the way grown-ups sleep in
yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's really cool, isn't it?
because
Yeah.
you're probably getting up early or earlier than you want in the morning. And I
So
think
that's how
go to
you get
bed.
extra going in bed early gives you extra time, that extra time in bed. Really smart. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I go to bed at 8:30 generally.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll read. I probably won't fall asleep until a little after 9. But if I'm asleep by between 9 and 9:30, I know that I even have room to wake up in the night if I need and fall back asleep and get up at 5:30 or 6 and be very well rested.
Rested. Yeah. Same. Yeah, that's my bedtime too. Yeah.
But if I
And I
stay up till
think
11, I'm still going to wake up at 5:30 and I'm not going to feel good.
yeah, that's right. And so you miss out on the sleeping in. Yeah,
Right.
that's right. Yeah, so that consistent bedtime is key for you. Yeah,
For
same.
sure.
Yeah. And I think you also, because I actually a couple of episodes ago interviewed I did some work with a sleep coach last year, and her whole message is like that it's actually your daytime stress, like how you are in the day is the biggest determining factor on the quality of your sleep. So, and I think you mentioned that earlier when we were talking. So it's like anything that you're doing to do less, to take things off your plate, to yeah, to remove stresses from your life, it that has a huge impact on sleep too. Like well,
For
and that
sure.
has the biggest impact on sleep. So yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you're worried about things, and you take that into your sleep, like we love to wake up in the night and just be like, I have to solve all of the world's problems right
Yeah,
now.
like right now at 3 a.m. with
Yes,
with the tired brain. Great. Yeah, yeah. So good. Yeah. Okay, so it's the sleep, meditation. Do you do that thing of like just checking in with your body and if you're feeling a bit crampy or you'll stretch or
yes. I feel like I probably check in too much at this point. Like it's just such a natural thing for me to be like, how are we? How are we doing here? And so I almost naturally can make these little self adjustments during the day. But I just think back to the times where I really punished myself for no reason over the littlest
Yeah.
things. And I do my best not to do that anymore.
Yeah, cool. So it's just bringing awareness to it. So just checking in.
Right.
How are we doing, body? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love that, Courtney. That's a really beautiful place to get started, and it's like the micro adjustments in the moment.
For sure.
Yeah, great. And if someone wants to learn more about your work, Courtney, of course, I highly recommend getting Courtney's book. It's on the audio book is fantastic. Courtney reads it to you, so it's like she's there with you. Um, so the full title's Gentle, and it's Rest More, Stress Less, and Live the Life You Actually Want, isn't it?
That's right.
So it's available everywhere. And also highly recommend Courtney's newsletter on her website, Be More with Less. Is there anywhere else people should check you out, Courtney?
Those are the best places, really. Yeah, bemorewithless.com in the book. I think you'll learn everything you want to know. And I've actually heard from people who are listening to the audiobook that I talk very slowly, and that was on purpose. And you might have to speed it up. Or, like one woman told me, it put her right to sleep. And I was like, maybe don't leave that in a review, but also that might not be a
That's
bad thing.
that's
Like, I'd love to.
good. Yeah.
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 So maybe
Yeah.
just don't listen to me while you're driving if it makes you sleepy. But otherwise, I think you're good to go.
It is quite soothing. And actually, so I used to, before I did the work with the sleep coach, I used to listen to audiobooks on double speed, sometimes two and a half, occasionally triple speed. And um, that's not good for your brain waves to be like
Mm.
functioning so quickly. So I've actually been forcing myself to listen to books on like regular speed. And so I thought it was slow, but I didn't realize that, like, I just thought that that was just because I was on one speed. But I found it's very like you take in information in a better way when things are slow. Like I actually am enjoying slowing down with my
I'm
listening
so
habit.
glad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no hurry. I mean, with the book, there's nothing that's time sensitive. I think you really can take your time with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of the books like I this year I'm choosing to, rather than read like 50 different books in a year, actually I have a handful of books that I'm planning to revisit and just go deeper on. And this is one of them. Like it's just
Oh,
like the
thank
messaging
you.
is, yeah, even though like I started simplifying my life in like, yeah, 2005, like about the same time as when, yeah, like you did. And but there's always like, stuff creeps in, and so there's always more. And so I'm really enjoying like having a season of less at the
I
moment, and
love
I think
that.
that's really helping with the feeling content piece. It's like, yeah, I have all these clothes, it's amazing, I don't need no new clothes. Like it's, yeah, it's so good. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Courtney, for being on Joyful Eating today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yay.